Christie, if you would, call the roll.
Trustee Kunkel?
Here.
Trustee Bancole? Here. Trustee Broccolino?
Here.
Trustee Albuck?
Here.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Here.
And Trustee Porter?
Here.
We're all here.
Thank you. The only thing I didn't do is call the meeting to order for August 7th. I should have the date
I was going to say this.
of 2025. If you would, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
I'd like to pull item, just a second, please.
7A6?
Yes, please.
7A6?
786.
Great, thank you.
Very good.
Can I take roll?
Pardon me?
Can I take roll?
Take the roll, if you would, please.
Great. Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Trustee Albuck?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
And Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Great.
Presentations, any tonight? No presentations, all right. Hope to keep this moving along. I'm picking up family tonight at Midway Airport at midnight. So, town hall session, anyone for town hall?
Nobody has signed in for town hall.
Thank you. Village President's report, few things. August 27th is the deadline for signing up for IML. I will be a moderator on Friday, getting ready for PFAS, which is a nasty something in the water. I'll probably know more by the time that's over. So I'll be doing that on Friday at 10:30. It's an hour session. The opening session that morning, Mike Singletary will be the keynote speaker. So I'm looking forward to that additionally. So I encourage board members to participate at least Friday, possibly half day Saturday at the IML. Meet your peers. I've heard from Little City. They have 6 community integrated living arrangements in Hanover Park. They asked if anyone would be interested in a tour of their main campus. I've been there a few times. I would extend the invite to board members to go out there and have that tour of Little City. I'm very proud of the fact that Hanover Park is one of a few communities that open up that opportunity for Little City, and they are doing really well. We have no issues in those 6 homes in our community. So I think it'd be worthwhile if we could all go out there and take a look. The Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus is coming together. I've obviously, I don't know if it's obvious, but being in the paper and on the radio a few times, trying to address the transit bill. It's came to the House, and the Speaker said it's the Senate bill is dead on arrival. So they're working on it. I've been a part of that, working a collaborative approach with the other mayors, and it's a work in progress. One of the key components is we have in that bill where they come in and what do they call it? Take over land. They got a word for that.
Eminent
domain kind of a thing, and develop. So none of the mayors like that. No, that's not going to fly. That's high on our priority. As far as alternatives on revenue, what they have not come up with, I've made a suggestion. Everybody seems to like the Secretary of State issues over 10 million license plates renewed on an annual basis. You could add $10, $15, $20 to that. That would go a long way using, staying on the focus on that component. So we're working together, many of the mayors. There was a survey of the 270 mayors, 170-some responded, so that was a 66% response rate on the survey. Was double what they were hoping to get, so that's a good response. So it's a work in progress. I've had meetings every Tuesday with the Mayor's Caucus, a meeting with a special group with RTA, the service boards. This coming Monday, I was on one last Tuesday, so it's keeping me hopping. But I'm really optimistic, and many of the representatives are very understanding and supportive where we're headed. And it's a big bill. It's a big cost. There's a shortage for this year, $770 million. That's a gap. Next year, similar. But in '27, we've got to be able to fund transit to $1.2 billion. And so those are big numbers, and everybody needs to work together, find a solution. And I think you all know me. If there's a gap someplace, I'll be in the middle of it. But it's certainly the mayors need to be heard from. And initially, they didn't hear us. And so the Senate bill is, I'm glad to hear it's dead on arrival. So whatever's coming out in the future, I'm going to be optimistic for our communities. And many of you know the real estate folks do not like, what do they call it, the transfer tax, the transfer when you sell a home. They tried to grab that, so realtors came out against that, invested $500,000 to lobby against it, and do an effective job. I even got a letter at home from the realtors, and I don't know who likes the pizza tax, they call it, $1.50 on every delivery. That's like a backdoor tax. That would cost me about $60 a month, because Sherry likes to order everything. So anyway, with that, I will move by items on the consent agenda. Jenny, do we call the roll on that?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Jenny, if you call the roll.
So those are items
I'm Christie.
Christie?
7A1 through 7A5, 7A7 through 7A14.
Very good. Christie?
Alrighty. Trustee Alba?
Yes.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
And Trustee Bincoli?
Yes.
Thank you. 7A6, move to pass an ordinance amending Division 3 bicycles of Article 9 of 11 of Chapter 62 of the Municipal Code of Hanover Park by adding regulations of low-speed electric and gas bicycles and scooters. This has been, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have,
Second.
we have a motion and a second?
Yeah.
I'll begin the discussion. I'm very much appreciative, Chief, you and your team. I've been working on this for quite a while. Trustee Porter brought it to our attention, meeting or two ago? And so it's ready for prime time. I was at Fox School yesterday morning, and they gave me a copy of District 54 policy. I shared it with you, Chief. They disband them from their properties. They see the detriment in what's going on. And so I think, I don't know about the other school districts, I just checked with the one. And that's probably going to be more the rule as opposed to anything. Trustee Porter, do you want to speak to it?
Yeah, I'm want to thank Chief Johnson for working on this. It was proposed a few months ago as this item was starting to gain some momentum in the news, and other communities began to take up the issue and formulate their own resolutions and their own policies. That being said, I served as the chairperson for the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee for the Northwest Mayor Municipal Conference. And I don't know if you got a call from Brian. He said he was going to reach out to you. He's reached out to a number of communities because we're putting together a formulated policy for the Northwest Mayors Conference as to what our unified position is going to be on this issue. And I told him that you were going to be presenting this at today's meeting, and Brian Larson said that he would give you a call. I don't know if he was able to do that or if you made that connection, but he'd be expecting a call from him because your input, I'm sure, will be invaluable. I think it's important that we address this. I've had many neighbors that have come up to me that are concerned from a number of standpoints. Number one, they're concerned that some young person is going to be injured or even killed with the recklessness that these vehicles are darting up and down our streets. Paying no attention to traffic laws, stop signs, stoplights, traveling high speeds on sidewalks, on streets, which is really problematic on streets where there are parked cars because they dart in and out of those cars, and it's very dangerous, a very dangerous situation. So I'm glad that we were able to take some steps to try to mitigate it and to get it under control. I think it shows that we have the best interest of our community at heart in trying to do this. The distinctions that you've made, I thank you for doing that, for identifying the classes of vehicles, the electric, gas-powered, pedal-driven, pedal-assisted are all important distinctions. My concern, and I fully support what you're doing, my concern is what type of administrative burden is this going to place on your officers in trying to enforce this? I know that they have their hands full with their regular obligations in our community, of which I'm a champion of what they do, and now we're adding one more thing to their plate. How do you anticipate, with your current workload and assignments and all of that, how will this impact your officers in their day-to-day duties?
Thanks for that question. I think that it'll help, actually, because right now we're working off of an antiquated ordinance that really only addresses bicycles and scooters, but doesn't cover any of these new, these e-bikes have really just popped up in the last, few years. And so when officers, we're still getting the calls, and we're going to continue to get the calls. We've gotten them on bike paths, in the parks, on the roadways, sidewalks, all over town. We're getting the calls, and I don't anticipate that would dry up. And so the amount of time that it's going to take, I think, is negligible because, as I said, we're going to get those calls anyway, and this will give us a means to address it in a much more efficient, effective manner than we've had with our old ordinances.
Do you anticipate that there's any segment of the community that might give you pushback on what we're trying to do, and have you received any of that yet?
Not directly to me. From any residents or members of the community. The complaints, though, are significant, against these things.
Yeah.
I do anticipate there could be some pushback, but again, it really comes down to a matter of safety. We tried to put an ordinance together that, our main goal is to try to avoid a tragedy, like you alluded to at the beginning. I know there's some that think they're responsible, or they're taking appropriate steps, or they should be able to ride these anywhere they want in any manner that they want to. But, frankly, it really comes down to, it's a two-part problem. It's the person that's riding these, but then it's all the other, cars on the roadway that may or may not see them. And so really the only way to deal with it is, I think, to, I guess crack down on them, would be the right term to use. We wanted to leave room in there for people who, may not use the motor assist or, and make the distinction that they can be on the roadway if they're not using the motor assist, as long as they're following the rules of the road and things like that. So we didn't want to clamp down on bicycles, and we didn't want to make ours too restrictive. Some communities are requiring a driver's license, to ride these at all, and we thought, certainly an age limit would be appropriate, but to go as far as a driver's license, we thought maybe it was a little far for members of the community that are trying to work or get to school and don't have a driver's license or can't get one immediately for whatever reason. So we try to find a balance here. It is restrictive, but I think it's in the best interest of safety the way it's written.
Yeah, I think that with the horrible accident that we just had in our community with the young man on County Farm Road on the motorcycle that in the S-curve that ended in a loss of life, on the extreme end of this, you can see here's a person that probably was licensed, had, valid license, and probably had many hours of safe operation on that motorcycle, but just a moment, whatever may have happened, but just a moment of indecision or a wrong adjustment, end up costing him his life. And we're multiplying that by scores when we have these vehicles, these electric vehicles on our streets, and so not only do we stand the tragedy of a loss of life, but there's a severe liability that we could incur, both as individuals, for a car owner that might be involved in an accident with one of these. I'm sure there would be all type of lawsuits and things that could happen, which of course is always superseded by the loss of life or injury, but it's still a concern, So thank you for putting this together, and I'm sure that this is a fluid issue, and that we may have to go back and revisit and make some adjustments as the situation kind of reveals itself to us. So I hope we're open, to that.
Certainly.
Good ordinance. Thank you very much. Any other comments?
Yes. Thank you, Troy. So I did receive a call from a friend and a neighbor who was concerned about this ordinance. But it just so, they reached out in hopes that that something could be done so that some of the kids can keep it and some can't. But with that being said, my dear brother, when he was a teenager riding a regular bicycle, Junior fell, and he ended up having a severe brain injury. He had 19 staples out of a regular bicycle. And it took him some time to be able to start over again, to read, to write, to speak, to walk. So, and then the horrible accident that we just heard about. And then on top of that, every time I come to Village Hall on my way home, I'm encountering one of these kids in an e-bike. And so on Thursday, yesterday, I'm making my way home and I'm going to Parkview, and these bikes are really cute, by the way. A really little bike cuts in front of me. I ride a Palisade. It's a pretty big car. You'd think you would hear me, but they've got headsets on and they're on their phone and just going. Had I not been careful, I really could have hurt this person who insisted on driving in the middle of the road. And it's becoming more and more so that I've already had 4 incidents like that this summer in my neighborhood alone. So I understand the need for this, absolutely. And regardless of whether you're riding a regular bike or not, helmets are purposeful and they have a reason why you should wear them. I wanted to clarify, and I was just talking to Bertie on this. So this ordinance makes it clear that no one can use an electric bike, adults as well, if it's being used with the motor, correct?
Well, they can use it, but there's prohibitions as to where they can use it. So, for instance, it says that you can't use them on sidewalks, bike paths, multi-use paths, other public property or public way where the use of motor vehicles are not permitted, but you can use a low-speed electric bicycle on a bicycle path or multi-use path if you're just using manual power and not using the motor.
Okay, so the electric component of this cannot be used in any area in Hanover Park, regardless of age then?
On the streets, they could, if they're following the rules of the road and they're over 16. They could use it on the roadways,
Over 16 on the roadways? On
following
the-
traffic laws.
On the smaller streets or on, say, Route 19 or Barrington?
I don't think there's a distinction. I think they could do it the same as a bicyclist, can be on the roadway, as long as they're following the rule, stopping at stop signs, signaling, those, requirements that are in the Illinois Vehicle Code.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh,
So, Mayor, you mentioned earlier about it being, getting info from School District 54. To clarify, Schaumburg already has an ordinance, and School District 54 made their rules based off their school district being, neighboring communities. So, and I'd like that our, ordinance is going to mirror what the schools would prefer.
yeah, they're happy to do it.
Initially, I'm a less rule person, and one of the, so one of the things I was gonna ask is there a version of this where we could do it where there's, I'm gonna use a phrase from my own high school experience, an honor pass? Like, you couldn't pass in the hallways in between class, outside the passing period unless you had an honor pass. And you earn that by good grades and behavior and so on. Is there a way that we can, if people are gonna be responsible, have an honor pass where they can use their e-bikes? Because I think there's an increasing prevalence of people using these to commute, as it were. Like, even in the development committee, we saw that the new transit-oriented development, one of the amenities in the new transit-oriented developments are e-wash bike, or e-bike washing stations. So, if there's a focus on having a more efficient way to commute, the e-bikes would be part of it, and now, potentially, we're doing something that's gonna make it less likely that people would use e-bikes to commute and be, less efficient, so to speak. And then, transit-oriented developments would be less likely to wanna come here as a result, and, we're sort of shooting ourselves in the foot, potentially, financially, by not having those transit-oriented developments because we're not friendly to e-bikes. So, I would like to have more information, to balance that going forward, not necessarily to stop the ordinance that we're looking at now, but to relook it in the future. If we get pushback and this is a problem for us developmentally or financially, then we relook it. And my second question, or my second point is a question. When I polled residents in the area about this, when I did research about it, one of the residents I spoke to talked about groups of people on e-bikes, and they were sort of aggressively taking over the thoroughfare. They were on the road in a group. They were intentionally blocking traffic. They were stunting, as it were, popping wheelies and so on. Not that I know all the lingo, because I don't. But what they were doing was essentially occupying the road space and then preventing, drivers from passing through and so on. Have we experienced that in our community to any great degree? You mentioned a lot of calls, but if you could specify more numbers and if we've had it in groups as opposed to just, because the ordinance is basically focusing on individuals. Do we have anything in the ordinance that's going to work in the case of groups that are aggressively trying to take over the roadway?
Yeah, so I'll start backwards. Your second question is, have we had have we had groups of individuals taking over roadways, or not in huge numbers, maybe small clumps, 2, 3, kids riding together. But I would say that is already something we could address with the IVC. Blocking the roadway, occupying the roadway is already something that is covered in the Illinois Vehicle Code, whether you're on an e-bike, a scooter, a surfboard, whatever it is you're on, we already had means to address that. So it's not in any large numbers, and I think we could, certainly deal with that if we were to face it.
Have you had officers had to intervene with someone that's doing this and try to, engage with them and then they evade?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
are they, because of the nature of the e-bikes, where they are able to go where vehicles can't, are
Sure.
they able to evade easily?
Yeah, this is difficult to, it will be difficult to enforce in some cases because of what you just said. And also, you know, sometimes when kids are on e-bikes and they make a dangerous or reckless maneuver and then they're gone, by the time the person can call 911 and talk to dispatch and get us there, you know, sometimes they're long gone, and it's difficult to work backwards and, you know, put stuff together. This ordinance is largely about education and compliance and talking to parents, and, you know, we're getting repeated complaints in a neighborhood. We go and we try to talk to mom and dad and try to solve the issue that way, you know, if that makes sense. The first part of what you're talking about, you hit on a major reason why we didn't take the step of requiring a driver's license, like some of our neighboring communities have. Because, like I said, if you've got people trying to go to work or trying to go to school and they don't have a license, maybe they're working on it, maybe they can't get one, you know, using one of these to get to work or school could be huge for them. And so I think requiring a driver's license was just too far of a step. So that was, you know, a big reason why we went this route. You know, it's certainly, we're not looking to hinder anybody from getting where they need to go. It's much more about, you know, some of the craziness we've seen on the bike paths and on the sidewalks and in our parks and things like that. And frankly, some of the vehicles belong only on private property, and that's it. You know, and when I'm addressing dirt bikes, you know, when I talk about that we've seen ATVs, the motorized scooters, there's just no place for them in public ways. And so that's our aim.
It's interesting, I've been in contact by a number of individuals in town, and I gave them all tonight. You know, if you really have strong feelings, you know, show up. You know, but this is what we're looking at. And they said, well, some of them say, well, it's about time Schaumburg's got it. So, you know, we put good thought into it. I like the educational component. That's what Hanover Park's about. So thank you for your work. And any other comments, anyone?
Yes.
Okay.
And thank you for the information thus far, Chief. My two questions are, if this was to pass tonight, when it would go into effect? And then my second question was, I know you've already provided this information to the board, but for the public's knowledge, how we would communicate this change to the village at large.
Sure. I think it's 10 days.
10 days after published.
Yeah, 10 days after publishing, it would go into effect. And then as far as education,
So 10 days, sorry, 10 days
T-
from today.
10 days after it's entered, or published.
Shall
I
be
think.
published by the village clerk in pamphlet form.
Oh, okay,
It'll be published tomorrow, and then it'll be 10 days after that.
okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, and so we would start with, and we've already discussed this at the PD, how to spread the word on this, how to get it out there, the schools, homeowners associations, e-news, Facebook, art meetings, highlighter, you know, would be some examples of our strategy to get the word out. Because a lot of this will be, you know, take some people by surprise, frankly, you know, because we haven't had one to use, and now suddenly we do. And so educating, you know, the public will be a large part of, you know, what we're looking to do.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
Any other questions?
Christie,
Great,
call the roll.
fabulous. Trustee Alba?
Yes.
Sorry. Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Abstain.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 7815, motion to pass an ordinance authorizing vacant land property exchange agreement with Metra and the conveyance of real estate owned by the village of Hanover Park, and authorize the village.
Actually, I really shouldn't purpose.
Well, that,
So we won't do 2/3 then?
well, I have to read it, right?
Yeah, you could read it, but I won't call it.
I won't vote on it.
Oh, we'll do.
Did everybody understand that?
No.
No, keep reading, requires 2/4 vote of the corporate authorities. Mayor will not be voting on this then.
Let me finish
On
reading.
7/8/15.
7/8/15.
Authorize
The
village
Metro
manager, village
piece.
president, execute the necessary documents. With that, I'll step back. Do I abstain?
Okay, just want to make sure. Alrighty, any discussion on
actually,
this?
you don't even need to call. You should first.
Okay. Any
So
questions?
moved.
Thank you. Conkle.
Second.
Thank you, Bancole. Any discussion? No? Okay, great. Trustee Alba?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
And Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Not that I had anything to do with it. I told them to get off their duck and get it done.
Just make sure
Let's see. Thank you, Bernie, for
You're
getting me out
welcome.
of trouble. 7816, move to approve warrants 8/7/2025 in the amount of $1,092,881.64.
So moved.
Second.
We motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
And Trustee Alba?
Yes.
Thank you. 7817, move to approve warrant paid in advance, 6/14/2025 through 6/19/2025 in the amount of $3,700. We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Trustee Alba?
Yes.
And Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Thank you. 7818, move to approve warrant paid in advance, 7/11/2025 through 7/30/2025 in the amount of $1,462,551.95.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie? Call the roll.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Trustee Alba?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
And Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Thank you. 7819, move to approve June P cards in the amount of $28,606.67.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Trustee Alba?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
And Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Village managers report?
No
Juliana?
report, Mayor. No report.
Village clerk's report. Christie?
Just to remind everybody about the summer soiree coming up on August 16th, 5:30 starts the Starlight City. Then we're gonna have the Disco Circus, and we're gonna end with a fabulous laser light show. Come hungry, we've got some great food trucks, fun for the family, some adult beverages for those over 21, so come hang out. Invite your friends. Bye all.
And leave your electric scooter at home.
Don't bring your electric scooter.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Corporation council report?
No report, thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Trustee reports. Trustee Kunkel?
Kunkel?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The other Kunkel.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Okay. Veterans Committee, we've been discussing about the Veterans Day celebration. That's 11th November. Excuse me. And in Sister Cities, we've been talking about the Black History Month. I need to verify when we have to have the page for the highlighter in the January highlighter. What's the cutoff date for that? That we have to have it turned in by?
I can get it for you by the end of the meeting, just I gotta look up something.
Okay.
The calendar.
Just gonna take me a second.
And,
How's that for a response?
that's quick.
Yeah, I can get it to you, just give me 1 minute.
I was at Bassett training, yesterday.
Oh, all right.
Great. Both officers, do a great job of it. Just gotta update the videos. And,
Go ahead and tell them.
school's starting in the next 2 weeks, so please drive careful. Watch out for kids, because they fly out in the middle of nowhere in the streets, especially when you're trying to back out of your driveway. won't tell you
I have
why
an
know
answer.
that.
Oh, Courtney's got it faster than I do.
I
Courtney
don't have
has an
long
answer for you,
arms.
John,
Articles are due September 19th.
September 19th?
Yes.
for the January highlighter.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Ta-da.
Thank you.
Anything else?
We'll do one thing on the sorry. No, that's it.
That's it? Thank you. Trustee Benko?
It's one, it's instead of what?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
So
1,004,000
I'd like
instead of
to
3,000.
Congratulate Chief
How'd that
Johnson and our entire PD and all the partners that took place, excuse me, that participated in the Cops Day picnic a couple weeks ago.
what?
It was once again a roaring success, and I'm really grateful
This number's wrong?
to our PD and to our staff and all the individuals that
That's the document.
really worked hard on that event. So thank you.
It says the safe
I
it says
was,
3,700.
earlier this week, I was able to attend an event through the Edgar Fellows Program. The Edgar Fellows was a program that was created by former Illinois Governor Jim Edgar, and the program works to bring leaders together from different sides of the aisles and bring leaders together to work on today's pressing issues in a very bipartisan and common ground approach. I really think that Governor Edgar really exemplified being a true statesman, and so it's really just an honor to learn from him and to attend events in which we are working together from different people from all walks of life. And last but not least, I wanted to say that I was really, really pleased to see almost 100% of our board at the NAACP DuPage County Gala. I know our clerk was with us in spirit. She's attended in the past, but it really was a great showing to support a great organization, and I wanted to give my sincere hats off to Trustee Porter, who I think during that event was the MC, the presenter, and just did an incredible job throughout the night. But I just wanted to thank my fellow board members for being present
This is
at that gala
7.
event. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
This is
So
18.
sorry, my nephew got baptized, otherwise I would have been there, I'm so sorry.
17, you're
I really love trustee
they have to
Porter's.
change 7A, 17.
And I'm so pleased that we all had a photo together. So, who's next on the list? Trustee Broccolini?
Okay, go ahead. You go before she goes. Unless you.
Did I miss-
Sorry, I'm sorry. One more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
Our chief and Officer Munoz and our mayor and Trustee Gutierrez put on a phenomenal Know Your Rights, Know Your Immigrant Rights webinar, and also partnered with the North Suburban Legal Clinic to provide additional information on the Illinois Trust Act. That webinar was so informative. I was on it for most of the time. I learned so much. Even myself, I learned so much. And I was able just to share it with other community groups who were not only thankful that it was recorded, but believed that we were meeting the moment and providing a resource, an important resource for our residents. And so I just, again, want to give my sincere thanks to our chief, my sincere thanks to Officer Munoz, and to the mayor and Trustee Gutierrez.
Thank you. Many of my
Thank you
peers-
again.
Many of my peers are absolutely fearful. And if nothing else, we try to model the right thing. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Those comments are appreciated. Thanks. And may I now introduce Trustee Broccolino?
I just wanted to, I got this email about the commemoration of America's 250th anniversary. I was going to ask if we were going to do anything about that, but it looks like something already is, so if there's
Is your
anything.
microphone on?
It is.
Talk really loudly.
If there's anything I can do to be a part of that, I would love to help.
Can you say that again?
Say it again, special events is gonna do something.
Special events is special events is holding something for this?
So next year's our 250th anniversary?
Yeah.
And the special events has just started talking about next year doing some activities with some of our movies in the park and some of our events next year with it. So we're in the beginning stages of planning that.
Okay.
We will definitely let you know and reach out to all the community or committees to kind of assist with that as well.
So I'm going to be involved with the IML on the 250th anniversary, and Jenny would like to participate somehow representing the village and what the village can provide to they're going to have a thing they put away for 50 years, 100 years, I don't know. Something we can contribute to that.
Cool. Oh, like
Pardon?
like a time capsule.
Like a what?
Time capsule.
A time capsule, thank you. So, thank you. We will
Fabulous.
take that under agreement moving forward. I think that's a great
That
idea.
will be great.
Trustee Olbeck.
Yes, Mayor. Just a couple of quick notes. I got to share dinner with a veteran from the area. He was a World War II combat engineer who got to serve in both the European and Pacific theater of operations.
Really?
So really interesting individual. 99 years old, going strong. You know, it's a stud. I'm hoping that you know, it's tough to see it when I grow up. And and I just, you know, was honored to spend some time with someone that, you know, got to D-Day 2 days after the landing, but still went in by the beach, and then Utah Beach 2 days after D-Day. Went across France, working on roads and bridges and putting in Bailey bridges, and all the way up to the Battle of the Bulge. And his unit was blowing up bridges to slow down the German attack in the Battle of the Bulge. So really impressive individual. And then from there, his unit got pulled out of the line and sent to the Pacific Theater so they could get ready to invade Japan. You know, to conclude operations there, which obviously included in a different way, but you know, he's got ribbons from both theaters of World War II, which is very, very rare. So a great honor to spend some time with an individual like that. In a more personal note, 35 years ago today, I was in charge of the ground forces of Operation Desert Storm because I was on the first aircraft and was the ranking guy. So for about 6 hours, I was the entire army in Southwest Asia to oppose the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait and defend Saudi Arabia. So just, you know, I want to basically shout out to all Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Desert Storm veterans that, you know, appreciate their service. That's all I have for today.
Thank you, appreciate it. Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes, I have a question. We just passed an ordinance on solicitor permits. The kids that come to my door to sell chocolates, they're still allowed to do that, right?
Absolutely. This doesn't include the.
Just want to make sure the
type of thing.
football team,
No, this is more your solar panels, your windows, the people that
Thank
need
God.
permits to come get those.
my
Yes.
dog personally will thank us all. So,
We want those little kids to come hang out.
yes, attended the NAACP with our team up here. It was a fun night. It was really exciting to hear Trustee Porter. He's an amazing speaker, as if we didn't know that already, but also looked really sharp, by the way. And just really excited for the fact that in this day and time, we have these beautiful moments where these kids, their scholarships doubled that evening, right? So that was just amazing. Also wanted to thank our police chief as well for a very, very comprehensive look at the Trust Act and Officer Miranda, right? I kept calling you Munoz, so that was my fault.
Sorry.
It's Miranda. Um, to translate that, it's difficult. I do it, and so you did a wonderful job, so thank you. But I want you to know that, and I hope you're okay with this, Chief, because it's being used as a training tool for other attorneys to present and how it should be done at other municipalities who are looking to do this as well. I know West Chicago was doing one as well after they found out about ours, so I think it's amazing. So thank you, and also to do it right off after a COPS Day, as if that wasn't stressful enough to come in and to do this. That was really amazing, so my hat's off to you. I also have to do a shout out to the Alive Center. They always need volunteers. I remember talking about this when we dismantled some committees that did youth programs here, the need for this, and so I urge anybody who's listening who has a little bit of time to please volunteer. These kids don't have a whole lot of many spaces where they can congregate, and so they end up getting e-bikes and getting into trouble. So instead, go hang out with them at the Alive Center. I'm there on some Thursdays as well, so it'd be great to see you guys there. And then finally, the CIDC and the Historic Committee are coming together for Hanover Park Through the Ages, and I sent you a flyer on this. We're going to have good food from local vendors and some pizza, of course, and just taking down a trip down memory lane. The libraries will be there, fire department. There'll be trivia with some prizes, so I hope that y'all can make it for this tiny little event on Friday, August 22nd from 6 to 7:30, and then with school going back, if there's anybody in the area that needs clothing, especially for those babies, POC's closet is brimming, so this is a good time to go get some free clothing. That's it.
Well, thank you. And the Alive Center, I'm really pleased with their work.
They're doing great.
And picking up Greenbrook School as one of my students I read to, and so that's always good. I love that stuff. Very good. And finally, Trustee Porter, all these compliments on your good work.
Well, thank you, and let me say thank you for all the kind words. The NAACP Gala Award, which the theme was the fierce urgency of now, was a very important event for our community. NAACP has been a very important and involved partner with the Village of Hanover Park. At all of our events, they show up with their table, with health materials, with instructions, and they're very faithfully engaged with the Village of Hanover Park. So it was my honor and privilege to MC the event that evening, as it was a fundraiser, the Freedom Fund Gala. And I'm pleased to announce that our donations the night of, we were able to raise over $10,000 from donations from those in attendance. So it was very successful from that point of view. Just on what we raised that evening was over $10,000. So yeah, so I'm very honored to be a part of that, and I'm thankful to my board. You don't know how satisfying it was to look out and to see a table full of you guys all there looking like, who is that guy? Where did he come from? You know, but no, it was. It was
a white jacket, Herb.
it was very satisfying to see you all out there, and I thank you for that.
Was I the only mayor that was there?
You might have been.
You know, I was looking around. I didn't see any.
Yeah, and that's surprising because usually we do have quite a few, but you might have been the only one. So, but nevertheless, you were honored and esteemed, and your presence was noted. So thank you. I also will have the pleasure of attending the Tuskegee Next Red Tail Ball this weekend, Saturday at DuPage Airport. What they do there at the Red Tail Ball, it's celebrating the Golden Legacy, 10 years of excellence. They have provided scholarships people in the field of aviation, and they have children, young people, young men and women who've gone through that program who are riding in the right seat in Delta Airlines. They're commercial pilots. They've gone on to military service. Just tremendous things that they're doing, and they're exposing this career path to many of our young people. And I think they've helped over 200 people in their 10 years of existence in providing this experience. So I'll be attending that this Saturday at DuPage Airport, and I'm looking forward to that being a great experience as they award the scholarships for this year's recipients and let those young people know who they are. I also want to take some time out to note our police and fire department and call them out for special recognition. It was just yesterday. I was at the Country Donuts. I was having my car, I had a nail in my tire, and they were fixing it over at Discount Tire. So they said it's going to be an hour, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sitting in here for an hour. So I walked across the street to get a donut, as you know, any red-blooded American would do. And so, so I'm sitting in there, going through my cell phone and enjoying my donut and my coffee. And the young lady who was in there called my attention, and there was a man who was in distress, an individual that was having a psychotic breakdown. He was half naked. He only had a shirt and a hat on, and he was wandering through the parking lot and attempted to come into the restaurant, and she was very fearful. Well, he walked in, went back to the men's restroom, then he wanted to walk into the main area of the restaurant. I didn't put my hands on him, but I forbid him to come in. In doing this, he was trying to communicate to me in sign language, which made me think, first of all, maybe he was mute and couldn't talk, and he was obviously having some kind of distress. But anyway, I convinced him to leave and not come in because the young female person that was working in there was feeling very threatened, having a half-naked man come into the establishment. I called 911, and they dispatched a police unit. And our fine officer, Miranda, responded with a couple of other units, and I was glad to see him. And what I'm reporting is that they were so humane with this individual. They treated him with all the respect and kindness that you could imagine or you would want to see in that kind of a situation. He was walking down, he had left and was walking down Irving Park Road. They sat him down into the vacant building next to Country Donuts, Country Style Donuts. They set him down, they talked to him, and within a few minutes, the EMT showed up. And they also were engaging this man, and one of the paramedics knew a little bit of sign language and was able to communicate with this man who, again, was probably, not diagnosing him, but to my untrained eye, was having some type of episode, and was able to determine that he was from Hoffman Estates. So he had wandered away, it seems like, and his family was probably trying to find him, trying to locate him, wondering where is he, what's happened to him. Our EMTs took time with him. Our police department took time with him. Eventually, they loaded him into the back of an ambulance and took him to get the kind of care that he needed. And I say all of that to say we have a fine department of first responders here. The way that I was so impressed with the professionalism that both departments showed in handling this case when it could have been, just something totally different. But they were very professional and humane, I guess, is the word that keeps coming to my mind, the way that they handled. Officer Miranda was the first one on duty, sir. Thank you for the way you handled that. My hat's off to you, and my respect for you just went up, if it was even possible, just went up a few notches higher than it already was. So, thank you again for the way that you handled that. It was very impressive.
Thank you.
And finally, I want to say The Know Your Rights webinar, Zoom call, YouTube was phenomenal. And as I sat there and I thought about it, I remember that we were in our strategic meeting, and one of the questions that came up was, what is the strength of Hanover Park? What is it that you would commit, what causes you to commend Hanover Park? And I know we kind of struggled with that, surprisingly so, even being officials and electeds here in the village. And as I thought about that, I thought that I go back to our theme for Hanover Park. Our motto is America's Global Village. Our strength is our diversity. We don't have a shopping mall. We don't have a Fortune 500 company located in town. We don't have a sports team. We don't have a high school team. We don't have any of those kind of entertainment venues. We don't have any of that. But what we do have is that we have a thriving, diverse culture of citizens, of good people. And I don't look at our community and think of them in ethnic blocks. We're all here in Hanover Park. We're all citizens and neighbors. And when I see what's going on in our nation right now with this assault on, quote, undocumented individuals and what's happening to them, I look at that and I say, you know, these people that they're calling undocumented, to me, they're not undocumented. They're my neighbors. They're our co-workers. They're our business owners. They're our classmates. When we need something done, we're not asking for status when they come and they serve us in the restaurant. We're not asking for status when we go to a tax preparation company or any of the other establishments that are run by individuals. We're not asking for their status. We know that they're residents of Hanover Park. They're taxpayers. Many of them pay taxes into Social Security that they'll never get back, and they support our Social Security system. And so I just want to make sure that as we move forward in Hanover Park, that we continue to celebrate our diversity, because that is our strength. We may be missing all of those other things, but just to look at this board, you can see that we honor and respect diversity. And I respect all of our residents, no matter where their country of origin may be, and where they may ultimately call home. They're here in America now, and I accept them as Americans, whatever the color of their skin, whatever religion they practice, whatever their political differences or persuasions may be. I respect them as my neighbors and as my friends in this community. And we are a diverse city. We must continue to explore that and to promote that with everything, every fiber of our being as a village. We've got to promote and stand on our diversity, because that's what separates us from a Schaumburg. That's what separates us from a Bartlett, from a Streamwood, and from all of the other communities, is that we must embrace that diversity and all that entails. We must embrace it. So I just wanted to end my comments with that. Thank you.
Well said. And it's been our MO for quite a while. Ernie, you have a comment? And 8 cents?
So the motion that someone should make should be, move to amend the amount printed on agenda item A16 to read $1,092,999.08 instead of $1,092,881.64.
Do we have a second?
I have a question. What accounted for the discrepancy? Okay.
Okay, very good.
195 and 196.
Okay, glad you caught it before we closed the meeting.
Can I take roll?
All, we have a motion and a second.
I do.
Call the roll. Christie?
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Broccolino?
Yes.
Trustee Albuck?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez? Trustee Porter?
Yes.
And Trustee Kunkel.
Yes.
Thank you.
The adjustment of 7A16. Thank you.
Well, there is no executive session. I have a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
801.
Thank you, thank you. I gotta be at Midway Airport at midnight.